I actually fell in love with this place. I actually like this job. I actually like the people I work with. I love the people I work with. And I really enjoy being part of the Capitol Police. If I was 10 years younger, I would stay 10 more years, but I'm not. And so I think after 46 years of being a police officer, I'm ready for the next chapter. Well, I got here, I had the advantage, and I say that sort of halfway tongue in cheek, I had the advantage of 15 after action reports that told me everything that was wrong with the Capitol Police, everything that failed on January 6th, and over 100 recommendations of things that needed to be done. In a number of the after action reports that the Capitol Police was woefully understaffed and had been, in fact, woefully understaffed for many, many years. And January 6th just sort of exposed that. We've got agents that are working double shifts, that are just, their overtime throughout the year is through the roof. And, while everybody says, oh, well, it's good to get a little overtime, a little extra money, when you have no quality of life, when you're never home to see your family, that's a problem. I am concerned not only with the current climate of, let's just slash and burn, positions, but I'm concerned that that Congress may have a little bit of Capitol Police fatigue. We're responsible for safety of members of Congress, all over the country. We're responsible for investigating over 9,000 threats a year that occur all over the country. And I hope that my successor can convince Congress and the appropriators that we still need to invest in the Capitol Police. The best part about this job is the people that I've worked with. The best part of this job is the mission, our mission, to protect the legislative branch of government, to make sure that the legislative branch of government can do their job unimpeded. It's going to sound corny, but every day I'm driving down North Capitol Street for the last part of my commute to work, and all I can see in front of me is the dome of the Capitol. And it's just every day it inspires me. I felt like for my first 42 years of being a police officer that I was serving my community. And I feel today like I'm serving my country. And I'll tell you, a good example was the day that all the January 6th defendants were pardoned. That was a day that I was angry and as frustrated about that as I've ever been professionally. But what it made me feel like is somebody's got to stay here and stand up for these cops. My cops know what happened on January 6th. They know what happened. They were here. I'm not worried about my own safety. I mean, I've gotten threats to my life since I probably about 3 or 4 years into my career as a police officer back in the 70s. I mean, I got the first threat against my life, and I've continued to get, especially as a chief, you'll get, threats periodically. I have seen policing evolve since the mid-70s, and it's been a rocky road at times. But when I compare where we were when I started, and I think about what went on in roll calls, the training that we got, we do a better job at selecting the right people for the job. We do a better job at training police officers throughout their career, and we are held more accountable. The police are held more accountable today than they have ever before in our history. In the late 90s, I put cameras in the dashboard cameras in cars in Fairfax. In 2016, I put body-worn cameras on every patrol officer in Montgomery County, and I got body-worn cameras on Capitol Police officers here. It's always going to be up to a police chief, up to the basically to create a culture in a police department where you're really there to serve people, that the public's not the enemy, that we work together with the public to create a safe environment. In Montgomery County, when at one point we had a cop in just about every high school and a number of middle schools. The relationships there were unbelievably good, and these cops were great, and it was so I think provided so much value. I would tell you what the answer is typically not, and that is thinking that enforcement is going to be the most effective way to attack juvenile crime. It's education, it's jobs, it's other social safety net things, it's family interventions. All those kinds of things would have a bigger impact than, oh, more police, more arrests. That's one of the areas that I've seen it get a little worse over the years. It was, if you had, a 13 or 14-year-old involved in a serious crime, it was more of a surprise. And oh my gosh, can you believe that? Well, now, yeah, I can believe it. It happens all the time. My hope is that the impact that I had in Fairfax County in the 27 years I was there, in Montgomery County, the 15 years I was there, and the 4 years that I spent here, that I made a difference, to allow my cops to do their job safer and better, and that the community was safer and felt safer and was safer as a result of our efforts.